For 2021, Kawasaki took the bold step to drop the base Versys, their road-going adventure bike model, from their range, replacing it with this Kawasaki Versys 1000S. But then for the 2022 model year, the base model Kawasaki Versys 1000 was confusingly reintroduced to the lineup. The outgoing Versys 1000 came with angle-responsive ABS and traction control and cruise control for a very reasonable £11,300, meaning a £1,699 price hike for the S model. The Versys 1000S isn't as sexy or thrilling to ride as rivals like the Ducati Multistrada V4. The shock isn't great and the dash underwhelming. But if you are talking a value for money mile-muncher, the Versys S still hits the mark, and that's exactly what its buyers are looking for. For demolishing miles, the Versys S is excellent, and with the screen on its highest setting, riders over 6 feet tall will feel little buffeting. The seat is sumptuous. The handguards help the heated grips do their stuff, and there are few vibrations. However, while not having the SA's semi-active suspension will save you £1,900, the S's conventional items may leave you a little annoyed. When you start to ride at a brisk pace, solo or two-up, the S's conventional shock lacks that support you get from the semi-active units, varying their damping levels, and is a bit of a disappointment. There is a remote preload adjuster which will get a workout should owners start to load the Kawasaki up, but it is the one time you miss semi-active suspension which allows the preload to be altered while on the go at the push of a button. There again, the forks are fine, and the price difference between the SE and S easily buys a quality aftermarket shock to replace the Kawasaki unit. The S's motor is identical to the SE, and that means you get 4 integrated rider modes as standard alongside an up-down quickshifter. A lovely smooth engine. It could be argued that the 1043cc inline-4 isn't the most thrilling to use, but for touring it ticks every box and delivers economy figures in the high 40s mpg range. In fact, it is such a smooth motor you never really feel the need to mute the Versys power. So while the new 4 rider modes are all very well and good to have, in reality you only need road. The up-down shifter's action could be slicker, especially at lower revs, but it works well as the revs increase, and the ABS and traction control are noticeable only by the fact they seldom make their presence felt, which is a good thing. You shouldn't worry too much about Kawasaki Versys 1000 problems. It has been around for 9 years now and is a solid machine with a proved track record of reliability. The inline-4 motor has a service indicator on the dash to help remind you when it is time to get it looked at, which is helpful if you forget it is every 7,500 miles. Owners report the finish is generally fairly high, although we don't have any reviews of this new bike. Build quality on the Versys 1000 isn't the most modern looking for 2021, but it's functional. Think of the Kawasaki as the value end of the scale of sports tourers. Our Kawasaki Versys 1000 owners' reviews show nothing to concern you at this point. The S is effectively an SE with its Showa semi-active suspension replaced by conventionally damped units. That said, compared to the outgoing Versys, you now get heated grips, cornering lights, an up-down quickshifter, 4 integrated rider modes that link to the traction control system, and a TFT dash with smartphone connectivity built in to go with the cruise control and angle-sensitive ABS and traction control that the old bike had. In terms of Kawasaki Versys 1000 specs, it is hard to think of anything that it is missing aside from possibly hill start control and active cruise control. The dash, however, is a touch disappointing in comparison to rival units, as it is mainly black and white with only small bits actually color.